Hi, this is John Solari from The Method Actor Speaks. And today we're sitting here and I'm really delighted to have back a member of the Actors Studio, Kelly Galindo, who is also a director and a professor, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're a professor?
Yes.
Professor Galindo. I like that sound. So today we're going to be here, we're going to talk about how this project of Frankie and Ava came about. So what I'll do is I'll let you talk.
Sure. Well, Will Manis from the PD unit, from the Actor Studio, the Playwright Directors Unit, is a playwright, and he actually, I met Will years back. He had asked me to direct Bridge, which was a story about Sonny Rollins. And that ran for 8 months, and it did well. And so a year, 2 years later, he brought Frank and Ava to me, which I loved. We did a reading at the PD unit at the Actor Studio, and then I took it to my producer, David, with Mahubla Productions, who also produced Bridge for me. So I went, and he liked the script a lot. But what was really great is he was already involved in the Fringe Festival, which was around the corner. What is that noise? So he said, yeah, we can plug it into the Fringe. And then he happened to be having the venue at the Three Clubs, which you've been now and seen the show, which is set in a bar, it's really quaint for our show.
Yeah. You know, I was going to say, yeah, I did see it. And I was just amazed at how I was really surprised. When I went in there, to see a normal play about Frank and Ava, I mean, how good could that be? And it turned out to be outstanding. I mean, I didn't feel like I was in a play. I was sitting there with everybody around. I was looking, and then I looked at some people, and you could see the joy and the reminiscing. It was more like you were going back in time, and you just sat there and and the Sinatra's music, which was when he was young, and the voice was really the voice, and the acting I thought was just absolutely brilliant. And I know they're going to try to come on the show again, both of them. And I was watching them, and I said, wow. And you're directing of some of it. I mean, some of the scenes there were, and I know you had a lot of influence of the studio there. And I think I told you and I told them, I was very proud as a member of the Actors Studio. And in the words of Salome Jens, the work was being done. And that, if you're out there, there's an extension now, right?
Yes, we have an extension. It's our second extension, actually. We, it ran in the Fringe, and then we won the Best of Fringe. We were nominated and won, which was great. So there was an extension for the Fringe, which has been the current extension. Long story short, that ended last Sunday, and the producers have decided to give a second extension. So we're going to be up and running in October, November, Sundays only, and the time has changed though. Now it's going to be 7 p.m. instead of 5.
And that's at the Three Clubs.
Yes.
Which is just north of Santa Monica Boulevard on north. I guess that would be the northwest corner.
Yes, it's actually on Vine, 1123 Vine, but the cross street Santa Monica. It's across from the Elephant Theater.
Is that the Elephant Theater's over there? I didn't even
right
see
across
that.
the street.
Oh, and then because you have a gas station there, and then there's parking in that little lot there. It's easy to get to by transportation, and it's
plenty of parking in the back. It's really I was telling you last time I was here, it was that little mall is quite funny. It's we have the Three Clubs, and then there's an AA meeting, then there's the boxing gym, and there's the
Freddie Roach's gym,
and then there's the Thai massage place. So you absolutely can work your issues out in that.
Well, if you have too much to drink in the Three Clubs, you can go around to the AA meeting. Yeah. That's been there a long time, the Three Clubs. It's
I heard Frank Sinatra drank there many moons ago.
Well, it's close to Paramount Studio.
Yeah.
And how did you go about casting this? That's what I'm really interested in. How did you go about casting?
Yeah, well, when I did the PD reading, they like us to cast from the Actor Studio, and I couldn't find a Frank Ava at the Actor Studio. So Will Manis had actually worked with Rico and Stephanie at the Right Act and different productions he had done. So he said, I think I have somebody that can read for Frank and Ava. I said, great. I met him, thought perfect. so we did the reading, and then when I approached my producer, he said, well, I don't want anyone preset, precast, so we need to do auditions.
Who is the producer?
David's from Mahubla Productions. David Sangali from Mahubla Productions.
Sangali's his last name? That's really? Okay. Hello, David.
So he didn't want anything precast, so we went through auditions. Yeah, and of course, Rico, hands down, was our Frank Sinatra, and the thing great about auditions is I found understudies. My understudy for Frank Sinatra, his name's Brian Fortuna. He's also from New Jersey. You haven't seen him perform, but he's adorable. It's almost like my understudies were the younger version of Frank and Ava. They're, like in their 20s.
Oh, great.
And and they're really adorable. So I had like a younger Frank and Ava and an older Frank and Ava. Brian's adorable. But I also, the understudy for the girl, her name was Ashley McCarthy. She actually, her grandmother was cousins with Ava Gardner. Isn't that cool?
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
It's funny, when I was waiting to see the show, in the back there I saw this blonde sitting there. Now, before that, I had seen pictures on Facebook I thought there was a big cast. I thought there was 5 or 6 people.
No,
There's only 2. And I saw this blonde sitting there. And I'm saying, I wonder what part she plays. And
it's my Ava.
That's what all day today, all I kept thinking about, how creative the casting was to cast a blonde. And put a wig in. And Hollywood is not known for that today. They have no imagination here as it goes.
Well, she came in to do my reading at the PD unit, and at that time I put a wig on her, because she's blonde. My actress is blonde, so I put a dark wig on her. And so when she came in, when we did the auditions for our play, I text her and said, make sure and wear your wig. So.
But it was great that's one of the things about the method acting and the studio is that's a dying art, the creativity, and to look past. Now, Ava Gardner had dark hair like yours.
Yeah.
While we were waiting to come on the show, when someone saw you and they said, oh, I thought she was playing Ava. I thought you were playing Ava. And
I actually, when we were just, anyways, I had asked Will and David, I said, because we had problems finding our understudies, and I said, I'll just understudy. I'm an actress from the actor studio. I can do it. I'll know the play better than anyone. I directed it. And they both were like, absolutely not. You're too old and you're too heavy.
Well, Night of the Iguana, if you would have put it up there on Night of
It's
the
just,
Iguana.
when you can't cast yourself in your own project, there's something really wrong.
But it's good as a director. I'm not the big fan of directors starring in it. You really got to be someone.
No, I wasn't going to be the lead because I wanted to direct the show. But I just thought, understudies, they may or may not get up. And I thought, I'll know the show.
But I'd love to see the younger cast. That'd be.
They're adorable. They're adorable.
Oh, that would be interesting seeing your other kids. Because that's the girl who's playing Ava. I just was. Remember, I just loved the idea that she came in as a blonde.
Yeah.
And she did a few things on there. There's a couple scenes that I'm not going to give it away, but when I talked to them, I thought would be great audition scenes for them, for the actors studio.
Well, you know what? Rika wanted to audition with it, and the studio said no, actually, because they don't want directed scenes. Because it was directed by me. Oh. They want actors to audition where I know, because Rico's so great. They both are.
Both of them, especially the scene, when she's wiggling her breast. That scene there, I thought, and the other when she's doing an improv, I thought, wow, I don't know how you let her do that. Or, what was the reason behind that?
Well, there's no improv being done.
But it's not. No, I don't. But it looks like. When she goes off all by herself and he's talking and she's doing her thing. I just, man, this is.
Well, brilliant. I thought that scene, it was our only because you've seen the show, they're quite intense. So I thought that was my only scene that would be the comedy relief of the show. So it was important for me that, I had her come in tipsy and be loose and it'd be fun, and it had to be,
I got to tell the folks out there, you got to go see this if you can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially whatever age you are. And it's the type of show that should be taken on the road and done all over, especially in Italian neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You go to any in New York, Little Italy, or Arthur Avenue, or Cleveland, Little Italy, places like that, Chicago. This could really play well, and I would hope you guys would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I wish it could be an actor studio project.
Well, what
wink,
they say?
wink.
Well, Mark and Marty Landau, they're always looking for things. Talk to Salome Jensen and Lou Antonio.
Yeah.
They're the artistic directors now. And they would love it. I just
Mark came to the show. Mark has seen it.
What about
He came with Lisa Richards and her husband.
Oh.
Yeah. He loved it. Yeah, he liked it.
Lisa Richards is,
Oh, I love Lisa. Lisa and her husband.
one of the great talents, Very, very, never really underrated. Let's put it that way.
Well, I don't know if she's underrated because we certainly rate her high. I just think
we do. I'm saying
she's not
there,
known to the world.
That's what I'm saying.
Should be.
That's
yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Salome Jensen.
Yeah.
But now I want to talk a little bit about you and your being a professor now. You're with Martha Coolidge, who's a friend of yours.
Yeah, she's a colleague of mine at Chapman. I've been at Chapman now for 9 years.
Wow,
It's hard to believe how time
years.
flies. But Martha came on board to Chapman probably like 2 or 3 years ago, and I certainly knew of Martha's
Just so the audience that doesn't know who she is.
Martha Coolidge. She was first woman president of DGA years ago, and she directed, I think it was like late 80s or early 90s, but Valley Girl, Rambling Rose.
Great movie with actor studio people.
Yeah, and she actually, I forget the name of the film she did with Halle Berry. When Halle Berry, they had like 14 nominations for that film. Halle Berry played a singer, a black singer.
Oh,
do you know?
What
I'm talking about?
Oh, yes.
Well, Martha
wasn't
directed
it Billie
that.
Holiday?
Not Billie Holiday.
No.
It'll
come to us.
It was called
the
Introducing. The film was called Introducing this black singer's name. Halle Berry though starred in it, and there was 14 nominations for it for the film.
Somebody in the audience will know what it was. But I told you a little story about Martha and I in Actors Studio in New York when I first met her. I was doing on stage. She came in when Harvey Keitel brought her in. And I was doing the execution song about Gary Gilmore, and it was the worst performance I ever gave. So, as I said, I'm sorry, Martha, and I'm a big fan of yours, and I know you'll never hire me. After that one, I said, that's the thought. And as an actor, I really feel bad because I was thinking.
Oh, you were thinking.
When I was on stage.
Yeah. Well,
I was thinking.
Yeah.
And God, that's the curse of an actor, isn't it? When you talk about acting.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about acting. Why did you become an actor?
Oh gosh, when do we decide these things? I probably was, who knows, 2, 3, 4, 5. I remember very young, dressing up and playing and wanting to be an actress. I was horrible too. I remember my my mother tells me the story. I don't remember it, but she says that I ran the neighborhood and I was quite the bully. I had all the Barbies and the camper and the Corvettes and the pool, and my favorite game was I would invite friends over and say, okay, we're going to play Barbies, and I'm going to be the rich lady and you're going to be the poor lady across the street. That was my favorite game. So I was a very little evil child. But I remember always being in Fantasyland, in another place at all times. And probably still am, just trying to ground myself more. But so very young I decided, and of course I think most artists probably the reason that they go into fantasy land is, you know, they come from dysfunctional backgrounds, you know. I would. So being in fantasy and, you know, your head's in the clouds about being an actor was a safe place to go. And then, of course, it becomes a journey, you know. And then when I was younger, like, you know, child and teenage years, I was a dancer. And then I actually choreographed professionally for years.
What did you study as dance?
Tap, ballet, jazz, but what I was doing in the '80s was a lot of hip hop stuff. I was Tiffany's choreographer. She's a good friend of mine. Yeah, so I did that and then I was studying at the Lee Strasberg Institute when I was young, and you know, just the entire it becomes a process of getting to know yourself, healing, and then, you know, you start developing a respect for the craft. I remember when I first went to the Lee Strasberg Institute, Hetty Slotentag kicked me out of class, you know. And I love Hetty. She's my mentor, and she was a great teacher and still is. But I remember, you know, they were doing sensory work, and I was appalled, and I said, I didn't come to Hollywood to be a dog. I came to Hollywood to be a Charlie's Angel. She goes, get out! Get out of my class.
Good for her.
And so there the journey began of of me developing a real respect and hunger.
That's true, because somebody come out here to be they want to be movie stars, not actors.
And I was one of those people.
Thank God she threw you out. It was like Shelley Winters. Gave me the best advice as an actor I could ever have. I was doing a scene at the studio, and she told me, sit down, John, you're acting.
There you go.
The best advice I ever got. You know what I mean?
Shelley Winters, Susan Peretz, some of the greats.
Yeah, it really, but that's it. And now, you studied, and you know, there's something you would do when you're saying about this functional childhood and all this and that. And I remember Marty Landau talking about it, that pain and all our grief is a gift to the actor.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It's when I heard that, wow, what to think all that pain, how you can use it and just, it's just wonderful. When you were talking about being the bully, I was thinking, you know, you were the meanie. How great that you can go back. You know, because everybody, you know, most kids are nice and polite and play games, but you were the opposite.
Yeah.
And what a gift that is for you to be able to go back and use that and to teach that.
Well, even current, you know, I mean, you know, we're constantly having experiences in life, and some are good and some are bad. And so when I have a bad one, you know, I'll say, I'm using this in my work. You know, I mean, so it's constant. I always thought if I was ever fortunate enough to, you know, win an Academy Award someday, I already have my speech planned, which will be, thank you for those of you that were, you know, like great in my life, and thank you for those who added conflict to my life. You're in my work, thank you. Right?
It's true. It's true. And some of that, you know, how do you... I'm trying to, you know, some of the stuff that we've been taught and the pain, and how do you let other actors, as a professor, when you're teaching acting, how do you let them know, how do you allow them to use that? How do you allow?
Well, I think that, well, first of all, sensory work brings that out.
What is sensory work so the audience can understand what that means? Well,
through our senses, those of you that don't know method acting, through our sense memory, sight, sound, smell, touch, taste, we have unconscious emotional memory stored through the senses. And like, for a quick example, is like if you were driving and you heard a song on the radio and it like took you back 20 years to that girlfriend that you loved or had a breakup with, and it brings so that song through sound, you have an emotional memory stored. Or you could be you go into someone's home and you smell this great pie and it reminds you of your mother or your grandmother or something. So you have an emotional, you know, a memory stored. So I mean, that's it. Like, you know, quickly but there's a whole, Lee used to say an actor needs to study at least 5 years, and
Right.
and they should be. Not that they shouldn't also be pursuing the business, because it's a youth-oriented business, and they should. But studying is a craft that takes years. Anyhow, so sensory work is the thing that they themselves find their emotional memory. Yeah, I'm just guiding them. Teachers are just guiding.
Guiders, that's a good
Right?
word, yes.
You're guiding them, but the work that Stanislavski created or discovered, and then the work that Lee brought back to the States to train American actors, it works. It absolutely, I was doing it in China when Martha and I went to teach in China, and it's unbelievable. You see right in front of your eyes, the work works, and I'm just guiding them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really good, and just so the audience knows, this is October 2nd, and in 2013, and so the play will be running. So you're not thinking
Yes.
that this is an old show and not like that. We're gonna be running out of time soon, so I want to just put a few shout outs there. That this is the Method Actor Speaks, and if you're in the business and you want to come on, please get in touch with me. The phone number is 818-773-0991. It'll be on the YouTube, the number, and it's also at the Method Actor Speaks on Gmail. And if people want to get in touch with you and this and that, how
Oh, my website,
great.
www.kg Productions, so my initials for Kelly Galindo, KG Productions with an S, .biz, B-I-Z, and that's
say
my...
it again so people understand it.
www.kg for Kelly Galindo .productions. Wait, no, not www.kgproductions . The dot comes after the productions with an S, biz, B-I-Z. That's my website.
And you don't even have to put the doubles, W.
Oh, there you go.
Nobody does that.
Yeah, oh, okay.
It's-
I'm old school.
It's good. I didn't even know you had a website, but it's good. And it'll also be on Facebook and YouTube.
But I want to thank you for
thank
having me
me.
on, so that, because last time I was here, I
You're a
forgot
gift.
to. I forgot to plug in the extension of our show and the time and
So
the
now it's at
address. So
7
now it's
p.m.
here. Yeah, 7
Once
p.m.
again, 7 p.m. and the address is
1123 North Vine Street in Hollywood, 7 p.m. every Sunday evening, October, November. And thank you for
No,
my
thank you.
actors. Rico and Stephanie will be interviewed. They'll be
soon,
coming in.
and there'll be others. And once again, I want to thank Kelly Galindo, who's a lifetime member of the Actors Studio, along with me, John Solari. I'm a lifetime member.
That's
And
right.
Once you get in touch with us, and I'd love to have you on the show, and to talk about the work and whatever you're doing. All right, God bless and thank you.